Most everyone has dealt with some degree of loss, grief, or guilt at some point in their life. So how do you get through it? Our next guest took some time away to hike the Himalayas and then write a book about it. Joining us now to share how writing helped him get through the toughest time in his life is Nigel Roberts. Welcome to Great Day, Washington. Thank you so much for being here. Of course, I know you have dealt with very personal and tremendous loss of your beautiful wife and beautiful daughter. And many people in this world also suffer with mental struggles, mental illness. You talk about blaming oneself. Is that a common feeling for family members?
I think almost everybody who's been in a situation of unsuccessfully caring for people with mental illness and addiction is going to feel they did not measure up in some way. I think it's inevitable. And to some extent, you know, you are to blame. There are always things you could have done better.
Did your wife and daughter both suffer with mental illness for a very long time that you were aware of?
My wife, yes. So both of them suffered from bipolar disorder. My wife throughout the time that I knew her, and my daughter less, perhaps the last 5 years of her life. But she had the example of her mother in front of her, which was immensely discouraging for her.
I see. You then wrote a book to deal with your loss and your grief. What was it about going away to the Himalayas that was necessary for you?
Well, I think, first of all, it's very important when something like this has happened for anybody to try and think through what occurred, what their part in it was, to work to some sort of resolution of that you can live with. And I think the best way of doing that is to go somewhere where you're comfortable. In my case, it happened to be Nepal and the Himalayas because I'd spent many years there working. So for me, it was a very familiar environment. It might sound a little exotic, but the point is go somewhere, make time, carve that time out of your schedule. Otherwise, these things will never really be resolved.
At the time, you just wanted to go away and think? Were you thinking, I might write a book about this in the future, or?
Yes, because I thought that the discipline of writing would force me to confront the things that had happened. The walk would help that, but it wouldn't accomplish it on its own. So I knew from the beginning I was going to write something about it.
Yeah. Tell us about the name of your book, The Leopard and the Moon.
So the title comes from two things. The leopard refers to Peter Matheson's great book, The Snow Leopard, which came out in 1978 and is a classic of travel and nature writing. The moon is a reference to the day that my daughter died, or the night she died, and also to a very strange event which took place at the heart of that journey, where on the night of the moon night of her death, I heard this strange coughing sound and was told in the morning by my guide that that was a jackal, but later found out that it in fact was a snow leopard. And that sort of meshed my journey with Peter Matheson's journey, and in a certain sense symbolized an attempt to come to grips with the grief that I felt and the learning that I tried to extract from all of that.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank you so much for sharing your story here with us today. We want everyone to know that they can get your book wherever books are sold. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Of course.
Thanks very much.
Yes.